Oh, hello. We are back with another edition of Therapy with Tom. Good morning, everybody. I wish we could do this in person. Nick, rise and shine. Can you believe I'm doing this at 10:30? 10:30 instead of 9 a.m. I wonder if anybody else will be here because I'm doing this at 10:30. Oh man. I just came out of a session. So I had a session and now I have a break and then I have sessions after that. And then I think we have a live stream this afternoon. Nick, you'll have to alert the people of what we're doing this afternoon, but it is great to see everybody here because we're here to talk about therapy, we're here to talk about music, we're here to talk about mental health and all that stuff. And I have a blueberry muffin. So, why are blueberry muffins so good? Nick said 4 p.m. today. So 4 p.m. today is our live stream. Don't miss it. Show up there. Hey, JC is back. Good to see you. Went to your first therapy appointment yesterday. Went super well. Almost wanted to stay for another hour. Thank you so much, JC. I'm so glad you got to do that. And I hope you go back. That's the thing I try to tell people. I appreciate that because some days as a therapist, I can't tell if clients got anything out of it. And the one thing I tell my clients, JC, is that sometimes you don't leave therapy like happy. I had people leave my office yesterday angry, mad, even at me. It's not about trying to feel better. It's not about, every time just all of a sudden getting a boost. Sometimes it's hard work and it's frustrating and there's a lot of confrontation. Melanie, I do remember Melanie Martinez. Ladybugs, good to see you. Feel like I just spoke to you. I don't know why that is, but it's good to see you here this morning. Nick, what is he saying, Nick? Is it a donation stream today? Is that why? I love whenever I get comments from people about money or donating, and nobody ever has to donate anything, honestly. But it's like if any of y'all have ever been to church and they talk about tithing, right? Giving money to the church. It's like that speech. It's like, oh my gosh, here we go again. But look, it's totally fine. Somebody had left a comment about the Rodway video that it's all edited, it's shortened down because it was 3 hours long for the Last Lap album, and Nick cut it down to 30 minutes. Because YouTube is going to not even demonetize it, they're going to block it if we put a super long one out. And it's like, man, never thought you'd need money that badly. You'd have to charge for us to go see it on Patreon. Well, everybody had a chance to be at the Rodwave thing when it released. We had 2 days we did it, an hour and a half each. Anybody could have shown up, and a lot of people did, and got to see the whole reaction, and it's totally cool. It's just a little bit more. It's like going to a concert if you want a better seat or a backstage pass, or it's like going to the movies and you want a better seat, or it's like going to a baseball game and you want to sit in a certain section, or you want a meet and greet or something like that. It's just like that, same thing. I feel better giving y'all my ladybugs. That made my day. That cracks me up. I don't love that. I'm not saying I love that, but because I don't want people to have to tithe to me. But that's really sweet. And we've done stuff like that, ladybugs, where Jill and I have said, you know what? We're going to take what we would give, because we do tithe, but we're going to take what we would give and we're going to give it to this couple or this family, or we're going to buy something for somebody else. Payday tomorrow. Payday for me is on the 15th and the last day of the month. What's today? 16th? 17th, right? Okay. Heather, good to see you. I don't really see a problem. It's not like you send people to our houses to knock on the door. Wouldn't do that. I would like to go to y'all's houses and say, hey, what's up? Let's hang out. Let's have a cup of coffee or a soft drink and enjoy life. Ricky, good to see you. Daniel, as always, so good to see you. How'd y'all like my title of this? Is therapy too expensive? Because I have an answer for you. Most people will say yes. But like I said, there's some people that come to see me that pay zero. And there's some people that come to see me that pay half of what I charge. And there's some therapists that charge $50, and there's some therapists that charge $300. It's only too expensive if you're not doing the work to get out of there. You should always be in therapy doing the work to progress yourself to be away from it. Not that the therapist you want to get away from, but you're working your way out. I should be working my way out of a job. And do you know the biggest problem most people have in therapy is they don't take the time to listen to what the therapist has to offer them to help change their life. They spend a lot of time talking about what's happened to them and not enough trying to see what they can do about it. So therapy is too expensive if you're just checking a box and doing it because I should be in therapy and I have problems or something's not right. Or if you are resistant to treatment and you just don't want to do it, then I wouldn't do it. Ricky would like to pay zero and have a session with Tom. You know the key to the zeros? Those zeros, I want to be honest with you. This will be totally honest. Work harder than anybody who pays me $200. I shouldn't say that. Not anybody. I've got some amazing clients. Like, I have clients that really do work. We've been very fortunate, and I've been fortunate to pick people that really want to work. But to clarify that, I have clients that don't pay at all, that they do not stay with me if they don't work on their issues. That's the point. If they don't work on it, I am not spending time sitting with you for $0. But think about this. What is it worth to have somebody? What is it worth to have somebody who has been to college, been to graduate school, has a master's degree or doctorate or whatever, has had, multiple years of supervision, consultation, oversight of what they do, specializations in training in different areas in what they do. Like with me, with play therapy and children, I was super well trained in how to work with children in therapy so that problems don't pop up later in life, or they know how to deal with them, or they don't carry the baggage. But what is it worth for somebody to go through all that education, to pay for all that extra training and supervision? And like me, I say, to have, the office I have, to have this, I'm completely kidding with you on the candy, but it is expensive now. What is it worth to have a therapist? To be fair, if you lined up 10 therapists, they would all have different skill levels. They'd all have different experience in the field in terms of time, maybe 1 year, maybe 10 years, maybe 30 years. They would all have a different treatment strategy of how they do it. Just like any other profession, you can take people who work at a grocery store, and there's people who have more skill and talent. But what's that worth? And if somebody said to me zero, I'm like, so if I see people for zero and I can't pay any of my bills or go home to my house because I don't have it, because I can't pay my mortgage and I don't have a car, and I make $0, but I'm trying to help people with mental health, I don't think I'd be working very long. Well, number one, I wouldn't have this office. This office costs money to keep and turn on. So I really do wonder that with people, what a fair wage would be. Heather says, I'm about to start chasing a job. Always wanted, I doubt I'd be doing that without the support of my therapist. That's so good. When I get into the field, I'll be making more money. Seems like profit to me. Yep, you're right. 100%, Heather. That's doing the work. Like that's using the time and doing the work to get yourself ready. When I talk to people about job interviews or talk to them about their self confidence and how they present themselves, you want to climb. You want to get up. You know, like my mentor said, if you're going to be a bear, you might as well be a grizzly bear. I mean, go big or go home. Like go for it. So therapy can help a ton. Who would fix one's leaky roof for zero? Who would do any like for zero? I mean, and even $10. Like, just do the math for me, like in what it costs to run my practice. Just do the math on that. And when I read your comments, Nick. Tom refuses to read. What has Nick said? I've been ranting. I was going to go off on some more stuff. My dream job is to be paid for not working. There you go. What has Nick said? Therapy isn't expensive if you join the RT support. Thank you, Nick. Yep, 100%. Go to Patreon, join the RT support group. I cannot believe how many people need therapy, want therapy, can't afford it, but pass up something like that. It's completely valuable. And I'm there with people talking about real life stuff, but hardly anybody signs up. And I see so many people that spend money in so many needless ways, I should say. And I've been in that group myself. If you don't have the money, don't spend it. But I'm telling you, find a support group. The support group is working. Nick, you're so right. I'm reading your comments now, Nick. I would say it's too expensive for me. I tried to use BetterHelp, and even with them helping me discounting, I was still not able to afford it. You keep grinding. You keep trying. You keep asking. You call people and say, do they have any pro bono? You call churches. Churches help too sometimes. Here's the reason why therapy costs so much. Because it's a specialty. You can find anybody that'll sit and listen to you, maybe and talk with you. But if you have a specialization like I have with children or with trauma and doing EMDR and stuff like that, you just have to figure what's that worth. We have an air conditioning guy that we've known for 15 years that we trust, and we've known him well. And he has his own business. He drives a long way to come see us, and it's expensive. But you know why we call him? Because we trust him, and he's fixed every single thing. And he's even told us times, you could fix this now, but I would wait 2 more years and see how it's working. And we have really appreciated his skill and expertise. Therapy is so expensive because, number one, people have to go to grad school to get it. So it's an extra 2 to 3 years of schooling on top of college to get it. So there's automatically the expense there. Number two, there's the supervision that comes with it, at least for therapy. Like you have to be supervised for 2 to 3 years by another person and pay them to do that so they can monitor your cases and see how you're doing. Then you're released and you do your own thing. But therapy is expensive because this practice here has 6 offices and a waiting room and lights to turn on and furniture to put in here and supplies to keep out here and an assistant for us to have to coordinate things. There's a whole bunch of expenses that go into it. So if I charge $200 an hour, which I do, and that's after doing this 30 years almost, y'all, almost 30 years. When I first started doing this, I think my fee was $50 in the 90s. And most of the time I didn't get that. Most of the time people paid less because I would see whoever I could. Of that $200, I would venture to guess 25% goes to taxes, credit card fees, just the tax and fee part. 25 probably, I'm sorry. Yeah, 25% taxes and fees that I pay. Another 25% to 30% goes to running this place. So all of a sudden, 50% of what's charged is gone. And then, there's the expense of having an assistant and things like that. And so when I did the math, I thought, man, it really does cut into what's made in this practice when you have to run a practice. If I worked from home and I didn't have any expense or anything, I guess, or virtually, it would cut out all that expense, but I don't. So that's why it costs so much. And some people charge $50. Some people use insurance. It's a good talk to have. I agree, therapy is expensive, but it's worth it from all good things I've received from therapy. Most people that'll talk to you that have seen a good therapist will tell you, if it's been good therapy, they're like, it's worth every penny. Mine has been. Ladybug says, my sessions used to be $200 an hour. I think they used to just take the insurance money from low-income families. Man, we used to do insurance, but we wouldn't get paid much. The reason we got off of insurance was because you contract with insurance companies. So Blue Cross, I'm going to contract with them. They're going to send me clients. So that's automatic referrals I get. But if my fee's $100, they might say, we're only going to pay you 70. And the client is going to pay $15 and we'll pay you the other 55. So 70 is the most you can make. And that's why insurance is so tough. Well, David, I make 400-ish a month, 200 an hour. The math don't work. I always say to people, like, what do people think it's worth? And for me to run my office, if somebody said, I think you should charge $50 a client, Tom, I think I'd have to see 50, 60 people a week. If I did that, then the people I see would not like me. I'd be exhausted. I'd be forgetting who you are and what was your story and were you the one who was going through a divorce? I don't remember because I've seen 60 people this week. Therefore, I wouldn't be as good at what I do. Yeah. But I was once an intern and I once charged $50 because I needed the experience. And I was not as good then as I am now. I can tell you 100%. It's not always you get what you pay for, but when it comes to experience in this field, it is. Before calling, ask yourself, is this textable? Oh man, that's my slogan here. Thanks, Lingo. I'm doing good. Did you manage to go to the trilogy? No, Melanie. Talk about expensive. Okay, let's talk expensive. Concert tickets, $200-$300? Nope. It's hard to find that money, y'all. Some people come in to see me and they're so motivated because it is an expense. They have to really budget that they work their tail off and they get their life changed. It gets better. Yeah, that's the thing, David, is people want experience, but they don't want to pay any kind of higher fee. So it's like an either or kind of scenario. We have to address the elephant in the room. How come I always miss the members only stream? I don't know anyone. It's usually on Tuesday in the morning. Rod Wave concert tickets are so worth it. Gosh. And they're expensive. They're more expensive than other ones. Melanie it was expensive. All the concerts now are expensive though. Experience is really important. My second therapist was new and it showed. You can tell. And sometimes you don't have the budget, the finances to do it, and you need somebody who's less experienced. And it's okay. It just might take 2 years to get somewhere you could get in 6 months with somebody else. But sometimes it's important. I don't think therapy is too expensive if it's the right therapy and the right therapist. I have seen therapists that have said it's not worth going to them. And I've also seen people do certain kind of therapy when I'm like, man, you should be doing EMDR and not cognitive behavioral therapy. You should be doing something different. And the kind of therapy you're getting is not the right kind. Good job, Ben. Going to therapy after breakup. It's not meant forever. Just sit and not react. It's kind of like, okay, yeah. It's like no reaction from the therapist. For the members stream, you need to look at the members tab. That's a good point, Nick. Look at the members tab, anyone. I wish I could see all of y'all for therapy for like 4 sessions and then let you decide, was that worth it? Is that something that would be worth paying for? Because I've spent a lot of money on different things in my life. Sometimes I thought this is ridiculous and I've walked out and it's been worth it. I tell people it's like Disney World. You ever go to Disney World? Disney World, and I haven't gone in forever. Well, since 2016, Nick? When's the last time we went? When you were like 15 and then Tony was like 12? Disney World is out of this world expensive. But I've never left Disney World, I haven't, saying that was a ripoff. I've always left saying I got my money's worth. It was totally worth it. You go to a really good restaurant that's really expensive and you tell yourself that was really worth it. Like the service, the food was, it's expensive, I'm broke now, but it was worth it. That's what I mean when it comes to therapy, that you're not just gonna get a deal and a steal. It's like when I see these ads for LASIK eye surgery, you see the LASIK thing, the laser surgery. And I saw this ad down the road here the other day and it's like half price LASIK surgery or something. And I'm like, dude, that is not where I want to go. I don't want to deal when they're slicing up my eyeballs. I mean, therapy's the same way to me. I want somebody who can know me, understand how I need to navigate life, and walk with me through it. Thanks, Jim. Doing good. Hope you're doing good. Loving Thursday. Live stream later today. Y'all come hang out. Enjoy. Come hang out with us. People getting timed out. David? Who's timed out? Who's going at it here? Half off so they skip on. It's just so true. Like, dude, it's my eyeballs. And I'm like, dude, it's my mental health, y'all. I work hard in this office. I want y'all to have the best life you can. I really want to become a therapist. I feel like I'd be terrible due to mood swings. That's not necessarily true. If you can have good mentoring in therapy, a good mentor, a good supervisor, somebody who can guide you, you can really work with that. I think you could do it. Keep up the work. Thanks, Garrett. Suicide Boys. I want a new album already. Tour's over. On to the next album. Scrim, Ruby, new album. Favorite Melanie Martinez, probably Pacifier is what I usually say. Price isn't always the number one thing you should look at, but don't cut down your expenses on important stuff. Yeah, look at the cheap stuff. And also with Patreon, y'all, it's one way. Ask any channel alive here that's a reaction channel. It's a lot of work and time and effort and editing and recording that goes into it, that Patreon is kind of the way for people to say, I support you and I appreciate you and I want to just do a little something. It's like me going to Dutch Bros, right? And getting a $7, whatever it is, that you can offer a channel that once a month to be able to get extra content, but also to be able to appreciate them and support them. And I believe in that. It's like when they take doctors in training and work them to exhaustion. I know, it's like, what are they doing? How many EMT? Have any advice for keeping me in good state of mind? Well, number one, get therapy. But number two, you have to really, and sometimes it takes coaching to do this, learn to get yourself unplugged from it when you're not doing it so that you re-energize yourself. Also balancing it and knowing you aren't responsible for everybody's lives. You are taking care of everybody's lives, but you are doing the best you can with what you have and how you've been trained. And doctors lose patients, EMT people lose people. I've seen people's marriages divorce. That isn't my fault. It's that it's broken to begin with, and we did the best we could with what we had. Not to put the pressure of the world, the weight of the world on your shoulders, honestly, is what I mean by that. You would need a therapist after my sessions. I would need therapy because I saw you. It's funny. Thoughts on Liam Payne's passing? You know, I saw something about that. He's the One Direction guy. I didn't really know him, honestly, Nick. I don't know who he is. I don't even know what happened. I don't know what happened there. So I can't really respond. Don't spam Osmar. I would pay for the membership and stuff, but I'm broke. I get it, Melanie. I get it. Totally cool. I get it. I've been broke in my life too, man. I've been living on pennies. I have been so broke before. Ladybugs, thank you. Appreciate you. Hope to see you later. Tom, bring back one-on-one so I can be an inner circle. Daniel, man. OG inner circle. Daniel. Always fun to talk to. The guy, he's real. Hey, you got to talk to Daniel. Y'all got to talk to Daniel. He is real. And as much as he has bravado and machismo, he's got a heart bigger than you could ever imagine. I mean that. He really does. It's reported that he fell off a third-story balcony at a hotel. Oh my gosh. But now the report that he possibly jumped. That's bad, Nick. That's bad. How many therapist sessions I do a day? Good question, Sam. I keep my number at about 25 hours per week. 25 hours. Now keep in mind, I don't see clients on Tuesday. I haven't ever since we've had children. I stay home. I do my paperwork. I do my phone calls, emails that I need for work. But now I add into that YouTube. So I do the recording, live stream, stuff like that on Tuesdays. So I work Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So 4 days a week. But Fridays, Thursday and Friday very often are not full days. For instance, yesterday I saw 9 clients in a day. It's too many. You shouldn't see. 7 is the ideal maximum for a therapist, but I see 25 in a week. So it's typically 15 hours between Monday and Wednesday, so like 7.5 a piece, and 5 each on Thursday, Friday to make the 25. Sometimes it's 20, sometimes it's closer to 30, but typically I don't like to go over 25, and I keep it pretty tame with that. That way I'm really focused on everybody's sessions. Located in Texas. A lot of drugs in his room, man. How can one deal with paranoia without getting therapy? Probably podcasts, reading good books maybe, meditative music, I would think. If you're not getting therapy to deal with paranoia, I would say you probably do need help. Christy, can you please tell you what? How does one deal with severe paranoia? You got to get therapy. That's a higher level. That's an acute treatment thing. And you can't, I'd probably say EMDR, honestly, if I was going to do treatment, but you need help for that. Everyone like the stream, please. Yeah, there's 100 people in here. We should get those likes to 50. Just hit the like button to make me happy, please. Ever listen to Section 80? Nope, I haven't. Tell Nick we should do that. How can I get you to react to my song? Talk to Nick. But man, it's like my time is so tight. I don't have time to do much of anything. Like if it's stuff around my house, Jill and I are doing something, family's doing something. I've got work stuff to do, calls to make, reactions to do. There's just not enough time. Daniel, you do not. Favorite Melanie Martinez? It's got to be, the whole K through 12 movie thing was amazing for Melanie. I loved it personally. Keep being told that if I do tell my therapist everything honestly, they'll melt my brain with pills. That's not true. Unless you see a psychiatrist, like I can't even prescribe meds, so I can't do that. But you have to be honest. One of my biggest problems in being a therapist is that people aren't honest with me. They don't tell me the full truth. I find out months later or sometimes years later, what? That was happening? And you didn't tell me? Like, you had this addiction, or you had this thing happen in your family, or you had this thing going on in your personal life, and I didn't even know about it. That could have helped me work with you. So you have to be totally honest. It's going good, Joey. Degree is a master's degree in counseling. I'm trying to go through these questions quickly. First, work on staying in the present without overthinking. By staying in the present. It's by saying, what am I going to do this morning to be the best person that I can be? And when you get yourself thinking outside of that, write it down or create some other place that you can jot those thoughts that are fleeting around down so that you can go back later in the day. Pick a time in the day where you let yourself wander outside of the present. Albert, 18 months in the supports. Having a good day, Albert. Thanks for being here. Elinto Xbox, thank you for the donation. So kind of you. Just to say thank you. I love that. Therapists can't give you pills. I didn't know that, Heather. Bipolar, PTSD, general and social anxiety, and I sit somewhere on the spectrum. David, that's a list, isn't it? It's a whole list of things. First super chat on a live stream. Yes, Elito. The sound is up. Yeah, meds can be expensive though too. And what's up with the Aderall shortage now? I don't understand how all of a sudden there's a shortage for people. Like what happened? Was there a plant that blew up that was creating or that was making them? I don't understand. Thank you, Chewy. Appreciate that. You know, words of affirmation are my love language. I mean, that's what I love the most. Albert, thank you so much. That is so kind of you with the donation. Oh, I can heart that one too. A good show to watch? I don't know. Jill and I are watching Emily in Paris, but that has no therapy in it whatsoever. At all. People are abusing it. Do you think so? That would create a shortage. That means people are just stockpiling it. Hey, everybody. Hey, Paula. Hey, Dupsy. Dupsy? Which one is it? Oh, there was a factory thing then. Interesting. Yep. 5 love languages. Anybody name them? Type in one of the love languages and let's see if we can get all 5 in this room. I'm in therapy right now, like literally right now, KTM. You should be paying attention to your therapist. 100%. Put your phone down and don't, talk to your therapist. Greetings from Turkey. Hey, how's it going? Touch, that's 1. Touch is 1. Physical touch. Everybody's going to the touch. That's 1. Food is not a love language, but I would probably beg to differ. I think food is a love language myself. Nope. Eye contact, nope. Acts of service, yes. Arm, that's good. Touch, acts of service, gifts. Yep. I'm trying to see. Hunger Games, man, I like that movie, but Broadway with it, there you go. But smell is not 1. So we did touch, we did acts of service, we did gifts, words of affirmation, Daniel, excellent. And 1 more, quality time. Very good, excellent. Y'all remember those. The easiest way to find out people's love languages, if you want to know what really will get you like in good with people, is to try each of these love languages with somebody without them knowing. Give them words of affirmation. Like, I really appreciate you doing that. I mean, you mean so much to me, and I'm so thankful for you. Do give them a gift, nothing big. Just bring them a piece of candy or something that they like. Uh, do an act of service, which means clean up something that they have or open a door for them or something like that. So gifts, acts of service, words of affirmation, quality time. Like, just really sit with them, like at lunch or something, and pay attention to them and talk to them. And then touch, like, obviously appropriate, right? But just like putting your hand on their shoulder and saying, thank you so much. Like, or just patting them on the shoulder, because that could be two at once. You'll find out what they like. Joey, you can absolutely guess my age. You probably wouldn't get it right, though. That's a challenge. Do I have a P.O. box? Yes, Elito, we do. It's in the description. Nick will tell you where the P.O. box is. We do have a P.O. box, but why do you ask that? That's very interesting. Just a few more minutes, y'all. A few more minutes. Gosh, 45:53. If I put a hat on, I look younger, correct? I've got a headache. 29 forever. People say I look like Joe Biden, and he's almost 80. So what does that say? How long have I been doing YouTube? In December, it'll be 3 years, our 3-year anniversary in December. Isn't that crazy? It feels like it's been 10. Y'all know better. Y'all are so nice. See, it's because y'all know words of affirmation are my love language. That's exactly why. You know that. Paying attention, words. And the answer is, Nick, tell them how old I am. My soul is very young. Thank you for that. I love that. My soul is very young. Can't wait to see y'all on a live stream. I want to do a Zoom call live stream. Come to the US. Nick has said it. Rise Up Reactions. 55 years old. I should be a senior at this point, right? Thank you for that, Cutthroat. Cutthroat, man. That's what, doesn't Scrim have some of that for his name on some things? Nick beat me. That's funny. I hope y'all have a great rest of the day. And I hope I will see y'all this afternoon. Young and crisp, Chewy. What does that mean, crisp? Oh man, 3's up. Y'all. Thanks, Nolan. Thank you. I needed that. Telemed session. I do teletherapy. I do virtual sessions, but I don't do medication at all. Diddy Finnegan loose. Y'all are too funny. All right, y'all. Have a great rest of the day. Nick said 4 p.m. Right now it's 11:10 p.m. So I'll see y'all in 5 hours. 4 p.m. Central Time for our live stream hangout chill time. I'm going to go get rid of this headache. I appreciate y'all very much. Be at the Dono stream. Look, you can get a piece of a song heard for $5. It's a great strategy now. If you want like a minute and a half of the song played just for me to listen to, stay great. Then it's $5. If you want the whole song played, it's $25. If you want to go to the front of the line, like you want it played next, the next one up, $50, done. You can do it all. If you don't want to do any of that, just hang out with us. See you on the